Hiya, it's Wendy here again from Toonpish Crafts and I hope you're doing okay. I'm so excited. I just got some moulds through the post today from Jadey'sart. I don't know if you've ever seen her, but her moulds are amazing. She's in Belgium, so they're European moulds. I know there's a lady in America that does the same or similar, but I'm so excited to try these. I don't know if you can see these, I have a little teddy bear, a dragon, I mean how cool is that, and a couple of Christmas baubles. I am so excited for these. I love her moulds. I'm not rich, so I can't buy the whole lot, but I'd love to. Anyway, I'll put her link in the description box below. I think I'm going to start with the teddy bear. Or should I start with the dragon? Oh, I don't know. Dragon, maybe. Dragon. Okay, I'll start with the dragon. I hope you enjoy this one, because I'm going to love it. What, maybe? So I have the dragon mould out and I'm going to use some black mica powder from Glasscast to dust the mould. It's worth saying here that I'm not going to put any of these in the pressure pot. Now I did start by just trying this out to make sure it gave the effect that I wanted and to see if it would wipe off the way I wanted it to. I have come across silicons that actually hold onto mica powder and don't let it go. And I was trying out this one to see if it did that, but it was fine. And with a baby wipe, yeah, I was happy with the effect that it could give. So I'm going to dust the whole mould in black. Now this is a crystal mould and you might be thinking I'm completely crazy because you want to see the crystal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour it black, wipe off all the excess so you have a black surround and some black detail in the crystal and the rest will be a different colour. And crystal moulds literally stay crystal even if there's black behind them anyway. So this hopefully will be fun. So once I've blown off the excess, I'm then going to take a baby wipe and just clean up the mould. And that's all it is really. Put it on and take it off. Finishing up the removal of the black with a cotton bud. And I'm happy with the little black specks and everywhere else is dark. Now I'm going to be using Peacock Blue from Jadey'sart, which is not an alcohol ink, it's a resin dye. And I'm just putting a tiny amount in, a small amount of resin. Now these moulds are quite small and I don't want it completely dark, I want a transparent blue. So one little drop of that blue is all I'm going to use. And Peacock Blue is kind of a greeny blue, so that's what I'm going for. I'm not a green person as you know, but I do love a blue. Don't forget I have a 10% off discount code for Jadey'sart, which is now on the screen, and all my discount codes are on the website, which is toonpish.com. And because I don't want any air bubbles, I'm going over all the little indentations from around the edges with a micro brush. Quick spray of alcohol and then I leave it to cure. Now actually I think this was the same day or very early in the morning. It wasn't quite cured. I was desperate to see it. And it is gorgeous. Look at that shimmer on those crystals. Absolutely beautiful. I've got to make loads of these. Love it. The raised black eyes and nostrils just make it stand out. I think it's fantastic mould. So the second one, I'm going to be using Vuba Vista Red. I've mixed up some resin. I've put the Vista Red dye in the resin and I'm using a small 10ml needlepoint bottle, which enables me to push the resin in that very, very small lip that's round the outside of this mould. Now it is a tiny lip. And these little bottles work a treat. I have used them before and they're just fantastic for getting in these little areas. Absolutely brilliant. This vibrant red from Vista is a gorgeous deep solid red, and now I'm going to wait for that to cure before I put the second layer on. If you're worried about wastage, these little bottles can be cleaned out with alcohol. I usually squirt some in the bottle, squirt it out through the needle into a cup, and then keep going through the same thing, using the same alcohol over and over again, and finishing off with a torn up baby wipe and a cotton bud. Use it over and over. I'm using Luxury Sparkle Mica powder from Just For You Online UK. I'm just going to put a little bit of this in some clear resin, just to give it a little sparkle. I want to see what this does behind those crystal tips in the mould. This mould hasn't been left overnight. It literally was poured a couple of hours later, and as long as you leave it for a couple of hours, the two colours won't mix. So that's all it was, a couple of hours. Again, I'm using a small micro brush just to go around the outside. I think the brush has gone. I'm left with a lot of sticks, but I use them over and over and over. It works fine, even without the brush. And then I leave it to cure properly. The following day it's time to demould, and as usual it's most exciting time. I do love demoulding day. I still think this is a little soft, however it was the next day, but it was early in the morning. Look at that, the little sparkle in that back colour just gives it an edge. So I'm going to try out another way, and I'm going to use some blue edge this time. This is Sapphire Blue from Let's Resin. Again, it's a resin dye, not an alcohol ink. And I'm going to use this blue on the outside edge, and again all the detail. I do love the outside edge recess. I think it's a great idea for these moulds. And these little bottles do work wonders. Just make sure you've got all the little corners pushed in with resin, because bubbles really like to get stuck in those little places. I'm going to dust this with Chameleon Mica powders. These are Alexis Chameleon powders, and they are in stunning colours, and I've chosen two colours, which are Living Earth and Lilac Navy. Now if you haven't heard of Alexis Chameleon powders, they will be linked in the description box below with everything else that I've used in this video. I'm mottling this effect. I've patched on one of the colours and I'm going over the top with the other. Now when you put on a second coat of mica powder, you only ever see the top colour, so whatever you put on first is the colour that you'll see. So this will be mottled once it's demoulded, and I think these colours complement each other beautifully. Now with any chameleon powder, it's always best to have a black background because it pushes the colours out, kind of acts like a reflection on the colours, and they are more vibrant with a black background. However, you can use white, and white also acts as a reflector, but it dulls down the colours quite considerably. And the following day, it's demoulding time. Now I've got to be honest, I was a little disappointed with this one. I loved the mottle effect with the mica powders, but the blue background and eye sockets just disappeared within the blue mica, and you can't really see it. And I actually did this technique again, but with a white background, and you'll see that at the end. So for the final one, I'm going to be using the Let's Resin metallic powder. Now this is not a mica powder, it's a metallic powder, and it acts slightly differently to mica. Again, I do have a discount code for Let's Resin, which is Wendy's 10, and it will be listed in the description box below. This silver is absolutely stunning when you dust anything with it. And I hadn't actually put it in resin yet, so I thought, well, why not? A couple of hours later, and I'm going to use some Let's Resin red colourant for the next layer. But I'm only putting a tiny bit in to make it kind of pink. And then I'm going to add some more. And we're going to see whether I can get some kind of mottled red-faced dragon out of this one. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of red in the centre. I will make it go a little bit where I wanted it to go, but basically it's gonna sit there and do its thing. Squirt with isopropyl alcohol, a little more deep red in the middle, and top it off with a little clear patch in the centre. The following day, and it's time to see what this one looks like. Has the silver worked, do you think? Wow, I absolutely adore this one. Well, the mould didn't disappoint. I absolutely love the results. The crystal definition is gorgeous. Now I may put up some B-roll, but they are stunning. Can you see how gorgeous that is? I'd like the light to be shining through to see, so that you can see how crystal they are. Absolutely gorgeous. They really are. Every one of these, in the different forms that I've made them, have come out unique and stunning. There are a couple of little air bubbles in them, as you saw in the video, but nothing too major. They are beautiful. I didn't put any of these in the pressure pot. They were all just sitting on the side, and I think that one is my favourite, to be honest. I love it. I think the colour is gorgeous. Not a green person, but that's more blue than green, and I do love that. And I think that one also is one of my favourites. I mean, how beautiful is that? A little bit of glitter in there, and it makes it sparkle. I'm so happy with the mould. I can't wait to try the other ones. I hope you'll join me for that. Anyway, have a great week. Happy crafting. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.